because they produce these children and they bring them up under different names, you will not have a situation where every president's a Rockefeller, where every prime minister is a Rothschild. You get the picture. Because they come through different names. They're called Clinton, they're called Bush, they're called Obama, etc. But forget the name, the genetic structure, the bloodline is the same. And this bloodline filters down, not just at the from the high positions, but right out into mainstream society. Why do some artists who have a certain amount of talent, some not very much, why do they get picked up by the corporations to become these big influencers of young people and other people through the entertainment and the music industry, and others with incredible talent never get off the ground? It's because they are chosen. The scale and fine detail in which these opinion formers right across society, from entertainment, media, through to politics, etc., are actually brought through from childhood to do those things is absolutely incredible. And when the lid really comes off this, and it will, it's coming off, then people are going to look at the world they've been living in and see just, even if people now think, yes, it's a controlled world, whoa, wait till you see the level of control. And they have their people all over the place in all these different institutions, religions, etc., to push society in the desired direction.
When he left the body, everything from the beginning, my birth, my ancestors, my children, my wife, everything comes together simultaneously. I saw everything about me and about everyone who was around me. I saw everything they were thinking now, what they thought then, what was happening before, what was happening now. There is no time, there is no sequence of events, no such thing as limitation of distance, of period, of time, of place. I could be anywhere I wanted to be simultaneously. That is who we are. And that is what they want to keep from us, so that we will serve the control system, because they got no chance when we realize that's who we are.
You know, people talk about the human mind as if it's like the arbiter of human awareness and perception. It isn't. This is why it's so important to get across, and for people to realize what the nature of this reality is that we're experiencing. This is quite provably, when you look at the science, it's obvious. We live in a virtual reality universe. It's like a three-dimensional holographic version of the internet. If you go on the internet in Australia or South Africa or South America or Los Angeles, you're all accessing the same collective reality through the computer. Well, we, in our prime state, are consciousness, not form, but awareness. And this awareness experiences this tiny frequency range we call this world, just a tiny frequency range called visible light, through a interface called body-mind. If I want to go on the internet, I can't just go on the internet. I have to have a conduit to go on the internet, a computer. And even then, I don't go on the internet. The computer does. I observe the internet through the computer. This is what consciousness, awareness, the real eternal self that these religious teachings talk about, etc., and non-religious teachings too, talk about. This eternal self. Some people call it soul, whatever you want to call it. And if you hold that awareness to that higher level of self, you're in this world, if you like, physically and experiencing it, but your point of observation is outside of this manipulated reality. And through the lens of body-mind, you can see things that the body-mind in this world and of it cannot see. And the more the system, when you study it, from cradle to grave, be it education, media, all these things, they're all, even religion to a large extent, is designed to pull our focus of attention into body-mind. It's the same, a very good analogy is you're on the internet and suddenly the computer takes control of what you think of the internet, where you go on the internet and the decisions you make. And the more entrapped you are in mind-body perception, i.e. the five senses, and look at society, it's all about pulling us into the five senses. Look at this, listen to this, taste this, feel this, all trying to hold us in the five senses. The more entrapped you are, the longer it takes, the more powerful the transformation has to be for you to wake up, open your mind, and go to higher levels of your awareness. What has been happening, I've seen this all over the world, I've been to 50 countries, it's happening everywhere over the last 20 years, is more and more people are going through this process, they call it transformation, whatever, where they open their mind and they let their true self consciousness in. Now consciousness is looking from this perspective, mind's looking from here, and that's why they want to keep us entrapped in mind-body perception, because we're looking here, we can see one dot, maybe two dots at a time. We can't connect the dots and see what's going on. Once you become conscious beyond body-mind, suddenly, oh, I can see how it fits together now. I've come across people only recently who've gone from this to this in literally weeks. Why couldn't I see it before? They say it's so obvious, because you were there before and now you're there. That's why it's obvious. And so this fork in the road, where people are deciding, are they going to keep on the way we're going and end up in this fascist control system, or are they going to go this way and break out into true freedom? In many ways, fundamentally, not in many ways, this fork on the road, is, are you going to stay in mind and think you are Fred Jones, born in Pittsburgh in 1942, that's who you are? Or are you going to open your mind to who you really are, which is consciousness, infinite, eternal consciousness, having an experience as that man born in 1942, whatever I said. And that's the difference. Once you realize that our name, our job, our experience is just that, an experience, and we are consciousness, that change of point of perception, point of observation of this world transforms everything. You go from this to this, and you can see what the control system doesn't want us to see, and that's why the control system is absolutely structured to hold us in that state. The power of human consciousness is demonstrable by the fact that despite all the things that are thrown at us, the cradle-to-grave programming, vast numbers and an exponential curve of numbers are now waking up from it. And it's this awakening that is going to bring this control system down. Not tomorrow, not next year, not the year after, not in 2012 like so many people kind of talk about, but I reckon about 2016, this awakening will have reached the point where the tipping point comes and this control system comes down, because the control system is absolutely founded completely in terms of its existence on humanity being there and not there. And so they may seem confident and arrogant, and it may seem like that, and it will seem that for a few years, but it's coming down, and it's coming down because humans are waking up.
And this appears to be what's going on in the world, but actually it's just a stage show that manipulates human perception so that we accept things happening which increase all the time the control of this system over the mass of humanity.